Hi all, Hank from Right to Real here. Today we'll be taking a look at the ellipsis, 3 periods in a row, usually meant in screenwriting for trailing off at the end. But what is the proper definition? Well, it usually means you're omitting information that's redundant, but we're going to be focusing more on the urban definition, where screenwriters use ... to mean that a character trails off at the end of their statement, or that a character is indecisive. But before we take a look at properly using an ellipsis, I just want to make sure no one's confused. This is not the same as when a character interrupts another character. There you'll trade in ... for 2 dashes, similar to this. Interior, office, day. Man sits in front of a desk, head in his hands. He's trembling, but the frustrated woman behind the desk offers little solace. He looks up at her, angry, willing her to speak. There's nothing I can do. State mandates clearly specify, "Let me see my daughter." In contrast to that abruptness, we'll look at the ellipsis now. This is a technique that amateur screenwriters tend to overuse, and like anything in screenwriting, a little bit goes a long way. You should always use every technique in moderation. Okay, a simple example of overuse. Interior, house, night. Huddled together in the center of a room as a family. Power out, children sobbing, something needs to be done. We can't stay here. Let's just give it a minute. I don't want the kids here when whatever is out there finally gets in here. Boom, boom, boom. Something at the front door really wants in. Just let me think, please. Wife makes her choice, dragging the children out of the room behind her. Think all you want, we're taking the car. Husband watches her leave, then turns his attention back to the front door. Boom, boom, boom. That could be anything. But Hank, can't we have confused characters? Well, certainly. But with dialogue, you need to remember what's the most interesting way your character can say something. If you want your character to be consistently confused or indecisive, you need to make them stand out by doing so, not with a period, or using an ellipsis. Now, how much is too much and how much is too little? Again, that depends on your writing ability and your story. A great story can get away with using it multiple times and the reader will be so interested that it won't matter. Whereas if your story's bad, has a few typos, and you use one or too many ellipses, a reader's going to put your story down and that's not what you want. Again, there's no right or wrong answer, but I would go through and look at your script. Everyone thinks their writing's great, but if you're using an ellipsis more than 3 or 4 times in your entire script, I would seriously consider going back and asking yourself, what better way can my character say this? Alright, and now an example of using an ellipsis sparingly. Interior, kitchen, night. Girl sits at the table doing her homework. Dad stands at the sink cleaning dishes. How was school today? Girl doesn't answer, buries her nose deeper into her book. Hello? He finishes a plate and dries his hand as he turns to her. What happened? Girl looks up upset. At recess today, I had to stand against the wall. Dad walks over to her. Please, you can tell me. She looks back down at her homework. You'll be mad. Parent sense tingling. He rests a hand on her shoulder. If you got in trouble, it's important we talk about it. Suddenly, she looks up at him, tears in her eyes. I pulled Tommy's hair when he tried to kiss me. She bursts into tears, hugging him close. Dad comforts her, an amused smile on his face. Okay, so like most of my examples here, and on the script reviews on our site, your examples will probably be a little better. And they should be, that's fine. The key here is use this technique sparingly. We want our readers interested, engaged, not counting the number of typos, not counting the number of times we used an ellipsis. If that's happening, we've lost them in our story. That cannot happen. Great stories sell scripts. That's what we're here to do as writers. That's what we try to do at Right to Real. I hope this helped, and remember, write your butts off.